back! I'm so glad to see you. I'm about to start reading the second part of our story. Do you remember what happened last time? Well, if you don't remember, you can always go back and watch our first video. Right, I've got my cup of tea, I've got my book, and I've got Henry. I think we're ready to try the second part. Let's see. The last time we read the story, we found out that St. Ronan was going to go try and find the devil. Let's see where he got to. So, St. Ronan with caution, ye micht understand, with his heart in his mouth and his crook in his hand, get stealthily up by the cemetery wall, and the moon keeked her head o'er the broad Kernel Law, and spread her pale licht o'er the desolate scene. He gathered his cloak, and he racketed in. Then he spied the old devil up there on the roof, a terrible creature with horn and hoof, and growling and snarling like some savage beast, while dadding his fist at the front of his breast, or shaking his head like a big shaggy dog, he lifts up a hoof and starts scratching his lug. Now St. Ronan was Jem, and that's no in dispute, for he pulls himself up and steps boldly out. Though his knees were gey weak and he felt he could run, he'd been sent down by Peter to clear up this sin. He shouts to the devil, "Old Nick, is that you? I've got something to say, so come down here the now." The deil gave his chest a final dod, and thinks to himself, who's this gallus lad that's no even fear of the devil himself? I'll get down off this roof and I'll send him to hell. He leapt to the ground with a terrible roar that frightened the fairies high up in Minchmore. But St. Ronan was quick and got in the first jab. A practised debater was St. Peter's lad. "It's you that's to blame for this evil and sin. Get back down below with your ain kith and kin, to your lowing red coals and your stinking brimstone, and leave the poor folk of this village alone." Old Nick answered back with a terrible leer. "You can do what you like, friend, but I'm biding here. I thought that hell was a place I would miss, but to tell you the truth, it's got naething on this." Then he bounded about and he started to rave and danced a wild jig on top of a grave. Richt angry, St. Ronan lashed out with his crook and gied it a yerk as he birled the hook. He cleeked the deil just above the left knee and dragged him away to the top of Caerlee. Wild scenes of rejoicing took place in the town as they built a big bonfire and gathered around. Then St. Ronan spoke out in a voice loud and clear. "I'm going to do something you'll do every year in July or August when you hold your games." And he pitched the old deil in the gathering flames. So thus rid the town of the evil and sin. He stood back, contented. A good job weel done. As he gathered his crook, his lamp and his robe, he thinks, burning their deils is a gey thirsty job. So he fund a wee well that nae other men kent, that to this very day bears the name o' the saint. Then away back to heaven to make his report and see if there's ony mair evil to sort. Now, true to his teaching, the local folk still build a great muckle bonfire each year on the hill. Then with singing and dancing and great merriment, they act out the role as laid down by the saint. For there at the bonfire, the ducks of the school plays the pair of St. Ronan and burns the deil. Well, there you go. That's the story behind our local festival and all our wee traditions. From me, Henry, and the rest of the St. Ronan's Border Games Committee, we hope you have a fantastic games week. Bye!